Hello, Twynham. This morning, to steal a phrase from Max Bygraves, I'm going to tell you a story. Now, this story needs a bit of viewer participation, so I hope you're ready, because I will be asking you questions. This story is about watches. Already I can hear you saying to yourself, watches? That doesn't sound very spiritually uplifting. But all will be revealed in the fullness of time. In the fullness of time. Never mind. Right, this is the first watch I'm going to show you. Okay? Now, you've probably already realised that this is not my watch. I'd look a little bit of a lemon wearing a watch like this, wouldn't I? Don't say yes too enthusiastically. You realise this is Maggie's watch. This is the second watch I'm going to show you. This watch actually belongs to a friend of mine. And the things it does, you wouldn't believe. It tells you the temperature outside. Come on. It can tell you the time in just about any major city in the world. The instruction book for it is about that thick. But my friend's a techie, so this suits him. No good for me. Good grief. This is my watch. Now, I'm quite hard on watches. I'm always either breaking the strap, cracking the glass, or I leave it laying somewhere and I can't remember where I've left it. So I always get cheap watches. Although I have actually got a genuine Rolex. This is where you all go, ooh. Yeah, that's right, a genuine Rolex. At least I hope it's genuine, because if it isn't, then I've wasted £12. This is the last watch I'm going to show you. This watch belongs to me now, but it used to belong to somebody else. Who do you think that somebody else was? Can I hear you saying it was my dad's watch? Good try. It's not my dad's watch, but you're definitely on the right lines. You just need to go back a bit farther than my dad. Do you see what I did then? Farther than my dad? Oh, never mind. Anyway, yes, this was my granddad's watch. Now, I never knew my granddad. He died long before I was born. But I've read a lot about him because he was quite a character. And when he was younger, he enjoyed travelling. And I do know that at one point he caught a boat to New York and travelled all around the northeast of the United States, all around the Great Lakes, all everywhere around there. Now, you're probably thinking, well, there's nothing too special about that. In America, you get on a plane, it's like getting on a bus. Or you got Greyhound buses or cars. But this was in the 1890s, so there weren't any planes. There weren't any buses. There weren't any cars. There were a few trains, but they didn't go many places. So I think the chances are he probably went on horseback. So it's quite a trip. Now, I know that this watch was made in 1884. And although I've got no documentary evidence to back it up, I think it's probably fair to assume that when he went on his trips, this watch went with him. So there you are. You've got 4 watches, all completely different. 4 watches, there you go. Not only different, they're all showing different times. I'll have to have a word with the continuity department. Now, if you check the watches in your homes, or amongst your neighbours or your home group, or in your circle of friends, the chances are they're all going to be different, because watches are very personal items. But despite all these watches being completely different, there's one thing they've all got in common. They all tell the time. And that tells us a lot about God's love for us. See, God loves us all exactly the same. He's not bothered if we're small and delicate, or if we're bigger and not so delicate. He doesn't care if we're black, white, or any shade in between. He loves us all exactly the same. That's a bit special, isn't it? Now, who knows when time began? Was it when you were born? No, longer ago than that. Was it when I was born? Longer ago than that. Was it when old Doug Barnett was born? It's even longer ago than that. Now, lots of very, very clever people have tried to figure out when it all started. But really, they can't prove anything, just guessing. But all they're agreed on is that it was a long time ago. Yeah. Now, who knows when time's going to finish? There's probably some football fans think it finished last Sunday evening at Wembley. But that's only football. It's not important. It's not like golf or rugby. But no, nobody knows when time's going to finish. So from the start of time to the end of time is a long, long time. And that's like God's love for us. It is so vast. It's unfathomable. And I think in the Sunday schools, they used to sing a song about God's love being like a circle. It's not got a beginning and end and all that sort of stuff. Don't panic. I'm not about to start singing it. Hands up, all those who've got older brothers and sisters. Go on, don't be shy. Put your hands up. Now, I've got 3 sisters. They're all older than me. They were all born before the war, and I was born just after the war. Not sure what my dad was doing in between, but that's a story for another time. But when I was growing up, they used to be really rotten to me. Now, this is where you all go, go on. Oh, come on, they were worse than that. All right then. Apparently, they used to play all sorts of tricks on me. And when I was learning how to walk, they would push my arms down inside the waistband of my trousers and see how far I could walk before I fell over. Now, I can't remember that. I was too small. The only reason I know about it now is that whenever I see my sisters, they seem to like to tell me about it. But as I say, I can't remember it. But I'm sure it would have hurt. I mean, it would, wouldn't it? But the daft thing is, despite that hurt, it hasn't made any difference to the love that I've got for my sisters. And that's like God's love for us. Only his love is many, many, many times greater. You see, there's hardly a day goes past when we don't hurt God in some way. Whether it's things we do, things we say, things we think. And God still loves us, regardless of all this baggage that we bring with us. That's a bit tasty, isn't it? So young people, next time you're in school, don't just look at the clock and think, oh great, 3 o'clock, we'll be going home soon. And you mums, when you're at home, don't look at the clock and think, oh no, 3 o'clock, the children will be home from school soon. Yeah, I've heard all about it, I know about that. And you dads, when you're at work, don't just look at the clock and think, oh great, 3 o'clock, time to down tools and have a cup of tea. Instead, just for a minute, think about the sheer enormity of God's love for each and every one of you, as vast and endless as time itself, and decide just what that means to you personally. Goodbye.